This video tutorial is for the grade 12 first floor framing assignment. So let's look at our instructions right here. We're going to start with our PDF. So it wants us to use first floor framing layer, first floor dimensions, and first floor labeling. Okay. So first thing you want to do is you want to create those layers. Now, for whatever reason, the online version has decided to change the name from layers to tags. Don't ask me why they did that. In fact, it took me a substantial amount of time to figure that out. So what you want to do is click on tags, and just like on the desktop version, you're going to create additional tags, or you're going to create additional layers. So I've created 3. This is first floor framing, dimensions, and labeling. So let's go first floor framing, enter, first floor dimensions, and first floor labels. Okay, now let's draw in the first floor framing layer, or tag if you will. So it says we're going to be using vertical boards. 1.5 by 3.5 is the real size, commonly referred to as 2x4s. They're going to be spaced 16 inches apart, which is the industry standard. You might see 1 foot 4 inches displayed when measuring. It says because not all lengths will allow for perfect spacing, the last board may not be 16 inches or 1 foot 4 inches. Okay. Make sure that board is located in the corner. It says when making walls, start with a vertical board stud on each end, and then we're going to populate the middle. Okay, that makes sense. In this picture, the left wall has a measurement that allows for all boards except the last to be 16 inches apart. The other wall has the second last board with the spacing. The additional board that has a 3-inch spacing is called the corner framing board. All corners should have boards in the corner like this to allow the drywall wall boards to have something to secure to in the corners. Okay, so basically what they're talking about is right in here. So you got a board here and a board here. If you take your drywall, which is the sheet that goes on the wall, which is what you paint or what you hang a picture on, it's got something to screw onto in the corner there. This gives your basic dimensions for all your detail. It gives the dimensions for the tail for the front, and as the instructions progress, it wraps around the right hand side of the house, the back of the house, and then it comes along the left hand side. Okay, so for this tutorial I'm going to basically get you started. It's not going to be from start to finish. So what I'm going to do is, let's grab our pencil, and I'm going to go just make sure it's straight. Okay, there you go, 1.5 inches. Okay, so we have 3.5 inches. Let's go over to our rectangle. Okay. Get our push. I'm going to push this all the way along the bottom. And I want to make sure it gets to the very end. So I'm going to touch this end piece here on edge. Okay. So that's going to be our bottom board. And let's just look at some of our dimensions. So the dimension for our vertical boards is going to be 9 foot 9 inches. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to populate our lumber pile over here. So let's go 1.5 inches, comma 3.5 inches. Okay, didn't seem to want to take. Okay, let's try that again. So 1.5 inches, comma space 3.5 inches. There we are. Okay. I'm going to go 9 foot 9 inches tall. Okay. Okay. Let's make that into a component. A component. If you want to get fancy, give it a name, by all means, feel free to do so. Okay, so this particular component is going to have to get rotated. So we're going to have to go over to our rotate option. Let's see, in our online version, rotate is located right here. And we're going to rotate that 90 degrees. So what I'm going to do, let's go 90, click. Go back there and we go to my move option. And I'm going to grab that by the corner. Like so. Okay. Just be forewarned, the online version, when you hold that control button down and you roll that toggle switch on your mouse, it'll make all your tools larger and smaller. So just keep that in mind when you're positioning stuff. Okay. Okay, so let's just get this here. Click. Don't know why that just popped up. Oh, this is going to pop up periodically on the online version. They want you to save instead of like an auto save, which the desktop version is really popular for doing. So we'll bring up our here. Yeah, see perspective? And if you're not careful, you end up with your lumber way out there. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can quickly grab this. Click. Okay. Let's move that on over. Okay. So according to the instructions, they want you to populate each corner first and then gradually move on down. So what I would do is, some might want to array, which is fine, except that calculation might be tricky. So I'm just going to move it. I'm going to type in 12 inches, enter. And if you were to grab your tape measure, measure from corner to corner, that's 1 foot. Now that's great if you want 1 foot. We don't. We actually want 16 inches on center. So let's erase that. We're going to redo that. So once again, hold the control down, click, drag it along that line, type in 16 inches, enter. And that's going to give your spacing. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Okay, so 16 inches. Okay. Now I'm not going to populate the entire wall, but I'm going to tell you a few aspects of nuance to this assignment. So for example, they want you to create an opening. Well, I would populate the entire wall, then create the openings. So for example, the height of that board there below the window is 3 feet. And what I would do is, if it was this board here, what I would do is I'd make it unique. I would edit the component. I would go in here, grab my measuring tape, and I'm going to go from the corner up, and I'm going to type in 3 feet, enter. It's going to give me a nice little mark there. Click, click. Now I would just go grab our push-pull. Make sure you get the top part. Bring that down. Right to that line. And that's how I would handle that. So that'll be the lower board for your window. Now you can create that. But definitely I would populate the entire wall with those vertical stud boards. And that's that basically to get you going on the first floor framing.